And European markets retreated this morning as the coronavirus pandemic remains in focus for investors. The Pan-European Stock 600 was down 2.2% in early deals, having initially opened in the black. Let's cross over now to Frankfurt, where my colleague Conrad Busen is standing by to tell us more. Hello, Conrad. Good to see you. I hope you're keeping safe from COVID-19.
Good afternoon, Shimi. I'm doing very good, and I hope that everything is fine over in Lagos as well.
Everything is going all right. Thank you. Anyway, stock markets in Western Europe have started the week on the low side. Also, the oil price in Europe also has slumped to the lowest level since 2002. Behind these are concerns that the global recession might become longer and larger than anticipated. Are these concerns justified?
Yes, they are, Chimi, because, over the weekend, the COVID-19, the corona crisis and its economic impact, or the concerns about its economic impact have changed and have become worse. In China, the government is talking about a potential second wave of the coronavirus. In the United States, President Trump has given up his target of restarting the economy in the U.S. by Easter. Also, in the U.S., experts are now talking about up to 200,000 Americans that might die from COVID-19. And here in Germany today, the so-called economic wise men and women, which are the advisors for the German government about economic topics, came out with an estimate for the German economy. They reckon that we are going to see a slump of GDP this year between 2.8% and 5.4%. Now, those are, of course, not only scary numbers, it's also scary for markets that they come in such a wide range. What can you do with numbers like this? How can you base an investment strategy on an estimate that is so uncertain and so wide-ranging? And look at what the German share index is doing today. It's really a zigzag sideways line. The typical movement the market is showing when it is undecided.
And now the German government has released billions of euros to help businesses to cope with the lockdown. Is it enough? And for how long will the money last?
Well, an estimate from a renowned German economic research institute today says that the money will last for 2 months only. But it's not easy to determine how much money companies will be able to get from the government. Last week, our parliament in Berlin came out with legislation setting up a fund of 650 billion euros. But if you take all of the state guarantees and all of the credit schemes that companies might be able to tap here in Germany, the amount is much higher, 1.2 trillion euros. And money is not everything. There are schemes that help companies a lot, even if they don't directly get money from the state. We have a scheme here in place in Germany called Kurzarbeit. That's German for short-time labor or short-time work. This is a scheme for companies in problematic times that allows them to have the wages paid by the government, but the contracts for the workers remain intact. And that is, of course, a huge advantage at the moment for many companies here in Germany as well.
And are all the companies that apply for government help getting it?
That's a critical point, Chimi. Of course, for some companies, it's easier to get the money than for others. If you were a company in trouble before the corona crisis, you might face difficulty now to tap the state aid, because in order to get that state aid, you have to go through your commercial bank, and the government only guarantees 80% of the state loan. In some of the federal states here in Germany, up to 90%. So the bank still takes a very close look at that. And if you are a company in trouble, and if you were a company in trouble before the coronavirus, of course, the bank accompanying this process will want some concession in allowing the company to get that loan. I can only tell you rumors, but a few of those negotiations, especially for some of the German retail chains that have been in trouble for such a long time, sound like they are going very difficult. They are facing many problems at the moment. Very long and tedious negotiations.
All right, we'll continue to follow those developments and, of course, remain safe. Thank you for your time, Conrad.